Situated here. Hello, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to my channel, and please feel free to drop in anytime. Click like and subscribe and support your girl Sis-Lo. Even in the midnight hour, we can find something to say. Yeah, boy. Okay, so um, I guess you guys know that I'm probably forever going to talk about politics. I don't know. Maybe. But anyway, so I'm watching several news outlets, and they're talking about how um, Mr. Trump is back out on the campaign trail. Notice I say back out like he never left. Literally on the campaign trail. Now this is a thing that really it just bewilders me. How is it that this man is so liberated to do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, the way he wants it, and no one is able to pull his coattail? Is there anyone that can grab a hold of this guy and say, it might not be a good idea to do this or that or the other? I mean, because first of all, from the day he tested positive for COVID-19, I don't think he sat still. I think he has adult ADHD. Seriously, like he has adult ADHD, and how they used to tell us when we were growing up, the old people used to say, you got ants in your pants, can't be still, you know. So this guy has literally left the hospital and went to wave hi to his supporters, put the Secret Service drivers or the Secret Service men at risk because he is like hot off of COVID diagnosis. I mean, the 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 nasal swab was probably still hot and snotty, you know what I'm saying? From getting a little sample to test it with. I mean, the microscope was still light, hadn't even gone off yet. And the ink hadn't even dried on the confirmation of the test. And he was making videos and outside riding around waving hi to everybody. Come on, dude. And then they passed out forklifts. He sent his assistant's administration out to pass Hershey Kisses to glory to God, to the people in the crowd. And I'm like, really, they can wait. So he goes back into the hospital. Lo and behold, he didn't stay in the hospital a good 48, 72 hours. before he's back out saying he feel great posing as a proud American on the balcony and snatches off his mask and poses with the Bible between his two hands, holding the Bible upright so that everyone can see down the spine of the Bible that it reads Holy Bible, the Holy Writ. I wonder how many scriptures does he know by heart out of that whole entire 66 books. Matter of fact, I wonder when the last time he cracked it and read it, honestly. It's probably got dust in it or on top of it, and allergies and stuff. If he was to blow it, it would probably just explode with allergic dust mites or something. So he goes and takes all these different photo ops and poses for the camera, and then he's back out on a face-to-face meeting. And that wasn't enough. He was like, well, I'll be back out Florida. And he's doing in-person meetings and all of this everywhere. And you don't have to wear a mask and all this kind of crap people are thinking. And I'm like, this man right here. I mean, I just don't get it, you guys. I don't get it. You know, I don't get it. And this man has no moralic fiber, like none whatsoever. And you know, I was I made a live earlier on my Facebook page, and so I was talking about um, how I was having a discussion earlier today, and the individual that I was talking to um, was expressing their concerns about voting and why they would or would not um, vote, and why, or rather, why actually, what they actually said was why they understood why a lot of people, especially young people, were not voting. They understood why. And to be honest with you, I get very passionate about that. I get passionate about it because I guess my emotions ties in with my intent, ties in with my concerns, and it ties in with it has like a little nostalgic content to it. Um, um, Responsibility, and all of these things. So I tend to feel like, hey, um, I'm responsible to do my due diligence in terms of getting our people out to the polls. And when I say our people, I just mean our peers, like our citizens and things like that. No particular race or gender or political or financial background or any of that. It's just like our constituents, our co-laborers, our peers, our church members, our whoever we come into contact with. It's our responsibility as a citizen, a Christian, whatever, to get people to exercise their civil rights and vote. Okay, so I was further explaining that your non-vote is basically a vote for the opposing party. So you might feel like there's no good person out of either candidate, and you may feel like, well, dang, To be perfectly honest with you, neither one of them are any good. Both of them are terrible, and they don't have a good background or track record or whatever the case may be. So why would I vote for either candidate? They're both booty, so to speak. And what I try to get her to understand is that not only are you voting for a president every time you vote or a mayor every time you vote, you are voting for ordinances, millages, laws, um, schools, libraries, um, judges, and all types of things. And as a matter of fact, you could possibly be voting in or voting on that same ticket on who will be the next judge that you stand in front of in traffic or criminal or family court or whatever the case may be. You may be standing before that person, and we are standing in front of that person. You want to know that you have selected or you had part in selecting the best person for the job. Someone who may have your fate in their hands. So um, I was trying to get them to understand that there is more than just a presidential election. You're voting for everything, and not only that, all of the Martin Luther Kings, the Rosa Parks, um, all of the civil rights marchers and the Violas and the Johns and the Jesse Jacksons and the Andrew Jacksons and all of them will the vision will die with them or has begun to die with the ones who have gone with the ancestors. So it's like someone's got to keep this thing going, you know. And then I get grief sometimes from my children because, Mom, stay out of that. That's not your business. You can't say the world, blah, blah, blah. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. If it pricks my heart, tugs on my heartstrings, or convicts me, then that's my calling, not necessarily yours. The only thing you're responsible to do is to take your soul to the pole and agree with me, touch and agree with me by taking your vote to the poll. That's all I need. I do it. If you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for me. Go to the poll and vote. I can't. I'm not gonna. Now, if you ask me who should you vote for, I'll give you my opinion. But I can't tell you who to vote for. You gotta, exercise your own rights to do that. And then, upon talking about that, other issues came about when I said, the last thing that I can remember, other than voting Bill Clinton into office, the last thing that I can really remember um, that got the young people, that got their attention and got them out to vote was when marijuana was on the ballot, legalizing marijuana. And I want them to use that same enthusiasm. Maybe they need to put it on the ballot every 4 years or something in order to get them out to vote on. Maybe that'll help if we, try to take your recreational weed away Every 4 years, maybe y'all get out there and vote more often. Maybe that's the thing. So, um, along with those things that we were talking about, I began to think about, you know, people saying, well, the reason why I support Trump is because he he is anti-abortion. He's pro-life. He's anti-abortion. He's a good man. He cares about this country. He he's creating jobs. He's helping the economy. Okay, now when you say helping the economy, be very clear about what you mean by helping the economy. Because is he helping it in a good way or a bad way? Because quite a few people are out of work right now because of COVID-19. You know. Also, the way he handled COVID-19 is that's not a good look either. Like, I mean, over 200 and some odd thousand people have passed away, and people are still dying every day, literally, from COVID 19. I don't think there has been a day where someone has not passed away from COVID 19. Now, I have seen some states celebrate losing under a certain amount of people, and because it started to spike downward, and not up. So the body count was down, and they were well pleased with that. But, um, they can't say that, oh, nobody in the state died today from COVID. I mean, it's happening every day, but we're not hearing the numbers go on and off all day, every day, because it's going down, and they want people to concentrate on keeping those numbers down, by social distancing, sanitizing, wearing a mask, you know getting tested, and acting accordingly if you test positive. Well, this president that's sitting in office for now contracted COVID along with some of his cabinet and uh, uh, um, team members or what have you. And um, for the most part, and as far as we know, they're quarantining and following the orders of the doctors and stay in check and getting retested as often as they can or should or what have you, and abiding by all of the rules of the quarantine, except for the leader. It's supposed to be an example, the leader of the free world. And not only is this man not listening, he snatches the mask off in front of the cameras like he's a super, and he does it like with all this drama, like he is a superhero. I mean, seriously, he is just dramatic about ripping off the mask and that side pose for the camera. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's just so dramatic. It's just too much for the kid. I'm telling you. So, while he's being all dramatic and all uh, trying to be seen and all this and that, he's out waving on the balcony to people without a mask on, and he just got out of the vehicle from being released from the hospital. So he's not COVID free. He's out on the open balcony just, hey, y'all, hey. What's up, though? What up, though? What happening? We cool? I again, yeah, that's what's up. So all of these people all around, and he's just as convicted as he can be. And then he turns around and starts saying how he's getting ready to plan some events. You haven't tested negative yet. And when you're asked about it, they said that you have yet to test negative and you won't reveal whether you have tested again or not. But you're just gonna go on out because you don't feel sick, because you feel fine. So today, while the early rush of trying to put your judge in place, the Supreme Court judge in place, one of the Republican leaders that was also tested positive for COVID a few days ago, that's not supposed to be closed in the room with all of these people spreading his COVID germs. He's sitting in the midst of all of those people, understand me, with full of COVID-19. I mean, just all full of it. But he brings a doctor's note that says, "Oh, I haven't coughed or sneezed in 24 hours. I don't feel sick. I haven't had any symptoms in the last 24 hours. So my doctor gave me a note to say I could be present. I could come back now." Okay, so just when it comes to all of you, like Republican leaders, it's to hell with all of the rules and the regulations. To hell with all of the rules and the recommendations that were put in place by all of the medical professionals and scientists and whatnot. Forget about all that. The rule for us is if we say we are right, we're going to go because, we are like businessmen and political leaders and things like this here. We are so instead of being concerned with what the scientists say and taking the recommendations of the scientists, we're just gonna do it our way and we just gonna cough our way back to work and get other people infected. But if they fall dead, it ain't our fault because this is the China virus. You know, it ain't our fault. It is China virus because it ain't our fault. You know what I'm saying? It's not my fault that I knowingly infected other people because I knew that I was infected myself and that I hadn't tested negative yet, and I snatched my mask off. And because no one needs to wear a mask, it just is what it is, and I won't allow anyone to go out of my presence because I need my people to bow down when I come into the room. So this little body full of COVID from my head to my little sunburned little toenail and my little sideways flip snatch back wig on. You understand me? I'm cool. And you'll be all right too. You know, I got access to these high priced cocktails and steroids and you know what I'm saying, walking around in a minute gonna be looking like Hulk Hogan or the Rock or somebody after taking all those steroids. But at the same time, you got the money to do all that. Nobody else has it. And then that leads to a different point, which is You're trying to eradicate the Obama bill simply because Obama's name is on it, simply because the Democrat put it together. So you want to eradicate the entire bill and say you got one in place, but you haven't mentioned any details about this bill that you supposedly have to replace it. But you want to snatch that bill, snatch that insurance from people who right now are recovering in the hospital from COVID 19 and lost their jobs, lost their insurance, living off of $160 a week of unemployment because you were too honorary to agree on a stimulus package that would be beneficial enough to the American people. So these people are having to decide on whether they're going to pay, try to drum up and pay a $450 a month COBRA to keep the job insurance and try to use the other $100 or $50 to feed the kid. Matter of fact, 160 only adds up to 320 every 2 weeks. The COBRA insurance is $450, and because they have the insurance, and the unemployment, they don't qualify for other state benefits because according to the state guidelines and the poverty guidelines, guess what? They make too much, so they don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Instead of you being honoring Mr. Want to be president again and eradicate the Obamacare, you need to be trying to create a bill for those people who have suffered from COVID 19 or have been directly impacted by someone who either suffered from COVID 19 or lost someone to COVID 19. You need to be creating a bill to take care of those people, sir. And while we got these other people saying that they're only voting for Trump because of the simple fact that, oh, well, he supports anti abortion and he's pro life. Pro life, my left eye. You ain't pro life. You're not pro life. Pro life means to care about a life. Yeah, you might be anti abortion, and that's all well and fine. Whatever you do, do you. But what you're saying is, go ahead and have that baby, especially to the blacks, because what they will become later on is target practice for us. So for all of those people talking about, oh, Trump is pro-life because he's anti-abortion, he's not pro-life. He might be anti-abortion, but he ain't pro-life, because if he was pro-life, he would not be standing behind those abusive police officers that's spilling the blood of so many people in the streets. And then you want to have a problem with Black Lives Matter, but you don't have a problem with the Proud Boys and the white supremacists standing up to kill our babies. The babies that you wouldn't, you try to speak other people against aborting or whatever the case may be. And that's all well fine. I'm not saying, not to support what you support as far as that is concerned. But what I'm saying is, don't be fake and hide by that to try to gain political power or to gain votes. When the truth of the matter is, you are not pro-life because you could care less if another black child died. You could care less if another black brother died. So that's what kills me about all these African American Christians. They're saying that they support this man because he's anti-abortion and he's pro-life. No, he's not pro-life. No, he's not. No, he's not. They had the audacity to say that Biden, in that debate, that Biden didn't support the police. That man never said he didn't support the police. What he said was he did not uh, 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 um, support police brutality. But you get up, Mr. Trump, after Mr. Floyd loses his life, and you make a joke and say, "Oh, when you're arresting people, just make sure you put them in the car. You watch the head or whatever." And you got a bunch of people just like you, just cracking up, thinking that's funny. This man just lost his life. Did you send no condolences out to any of these people that lost their lives? The joggers, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, none of them. You didn't send a well wish to none of these people. But you got the nerve to say you pro life. You wouldn't respect your own life if you weren't so narcissistic. It gets old, Mr. Trump. And shame on you. And shame on anybody who thinks that you are a better fit in the office rather than Joe Biden. Even if whoever feel like that both of them are terrible, well, take the lesser of the two evils then, which would absolutely be Joe Biden. At least he has moralic fiber because Trump absolutely doesn't. And then he told you what his intent is. If he loses, he's not going to leave peacefully. And then to back it up, he told his Proud Boys to stand back and stand by. What you think that means? What do you think that means, huh? Stand back and stand by. Proud Boys. Got to be so proud of. What do they have to be so proud of? Plotting to kill the governor of Michigan? They proud of that? You know what I'm proud of? I'm proud of the fact that they got caught. These militia groups, the Wolverine Watchmen, they call themselves, and some of the same group, the Proud Boys. Conglomerate of these people got together and said, we're going to kidnap Governor Whitmer from her home or her summer vacation home. We're going to kidnap her and we're going to put her on trial for treason. And then after they've been adjudged in the jury, sentence her to death and kill her right before the election. And they bought high-powered weapons, ammunition, bombs with shrapnel. They're going to get all of this because they needed the bombs with the shrapnel because they were going to create diversions in different areas of the state to throw off the scent for the police so that the police would be so distracted with the bombings that they wouldn't be able to focus on the governor and what was going on with her. So that would give them the opportunity to snatch the governor from her home, rip her away from her family, or kill them too, probably if necessary. Snatch her away and take her to the secret underground location. Yeah, they had an underground location where they had to go inside of a building, and it was in under a trap door. See, so they were going to kidnap her while they're bombing certain bridges and freeways. See, so when they bomb the bridges and the freeways, the bombs are full of shrapnel. So anybody that was close would get uh, splintered by nails and sharp objects and glass and things of that nature. And when the bomb would set off, then it would send all of these particles flying and these implements flying all through the air, and it will probably go hundreds of feet. And if any of that stuff penetrates your body, it could be cause serious damage or injury or even death. But this is what, and then they were going to bombard the state capitol, and after that, they were going to incite race war. Basically, they're going to start killing black people, people of color, Democrats. See, because when it comes to um, Caucasian supremacists, it doesn't mean if you are a light skinned black person or a real light skinned Puerto Rican or Mexican or whatever it is. If you're not white, you ain't right. So you might as well be just as black as I am because you are a target just like I am. So can you imagine had they gotten away with that and actually pulled that plan off? How many people would have died because of this? Not only that, but one of Michigan's top public officials. And then on top of that, guys, instead of the so-called president of the United States giving this woman a well check call, how are you mentally, physically, emotionally? I know this had to be tough for you. Instead of him doing that, he says she closed down Michigan. A lot of people are angry. You've angered a lot of people because of closing down it. And these people are angry. Guess why? Two simple things. One, because she enforces the wearing of masks. The other is because the gyms are closed. So you don't kill this woman because you don't want to wear a mask. And you can't go in a public gym and work out. It's crazy. It's ludicrous. And it goes all the way back to the beginning of my broadcast tonight, which is if you don't vote, this is the type of leader you'll end up with for the next 4 years again. Hard to believe. That's where we are, guys. We are in a new normal where now you can't take a picture in a public place without having a mask on. So you have to, unless you know the people's eyes, shape of the head, and everything like that. You better make sure you write on the back of the picture what this photograph was and who it was of, because you can't see anybody's face because it's covered with a mask. But this is the new normal. You scared to touch anything and not use a ton of sanitizer on your hands because you don't want to inhale COVID or put it in your mouth or what. It's just the new way of living, and it's not all pleasant. But guess what? You want to live another day, you follow the rules. It's too much. But okay, I'm done off my soapbox. I'm gonna take a break, and I'll probably be back a little bit later with a little bit more from your girl Sis-Lo. Please like and subscribe to the video, share the video, and support the channel. I thank you for tuning in. I love you on purpose. Ain't nothing you can do about it. And I don't say goodbye because goodbye is so permanent. So I'm just gonna say later for now.